All right, welcome back to the channel. Gervonta Davis. You know the saying, man, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him think. And that is the case of Gervonta Davis. He just keeps doing this garbage. He gets caught on tape, but just not caught on the phone, but in just a whole auditorium full of people, snatching a woman up by her collar. I think he snatched her up by the collar and held her by the collar. I don't know if he actually put his hands on her throat or not, but just absolutely terrible visuals, something absolutely stupid to do. And he's out there again. So, his name will get blasted. It'll be brought up when he fights. Just more foolishness out of Gervonta Davis. And just man, I don't understand this guy, man. He's got everything in the world, and can't control himself. I know he's a fighter, and fighters fight, but this is ridiculous. But there will be, of course, some media hypocrisy going on, and I'm looking forward to at least seeing if that's the case. And let's talk about that and Gervonta Davis moving forward in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, I hope you accept my invitation to subscribe. But let's get straight into this, because I am just truly amazed, man, at Gervonta Davis. This is a kid that I think is one of the most talented fighters in boxing. He is one of the most skilled fighters in boxing. I absolutely love watching Gervonta Davis fight in the ring, but he's like, being a Gervonta Davis fan is like being a parent to my son as it relates to school. Every time we get these little grade sheets that come out, well, actually, it's on the phone now, so you can look up grades all the time. And my son has a tendency just to zone out in class a little bit and forget to turn in homework, forget to do assignments. And we're working on it, and it's gradually getting better. But every time I look at that phone, I'm thinking to myself, all right, is there going to be an assignment missing? Is he going to do, because all you got to do is turn it in, man. It's not complicated. Is he going to do something stupid? Right, that. Whenever I look up something around Gervonta Davis, because I keep Gervonta Davis on my feeds, just look up what's going on with him. And every time I look up there, I'm thinking, is he going to do something stupid? Is he going to punch somebody? Is he going to punch somebody in a gym in a fight? Is he going to, is he going to say something really stupid? He's been saying stuff real stupid on Twitter lately as well, too. But I try to stay away from that. So last night when I'm on it's a text message that, several YouTube boxing creators in the LDBC, we talk boxing on an email text. I think it's Cali Enigma that sent this link to the video that was out. It was out on TMZ, but it was out somewhere else before with Gervonta Davis snatching this girl up. And it just looked absolutely terrible, man. But the bad thing is that it's not surprising. If something like that you should be surprised. You should be like, oh man, wow, I never knew he would have done that. But with Gervonta Davis, it's like, oh, well, that's Gervonta Davis. Here we go again. Here we go again. This kid will not learn his lesson. What in the world could that woman have said to you to make you lose your cool that much, where you're in a crowd of people like that and you snatch her up by the collar? Now, personally, I don't support snatching him up by the collar at all. Geez, he grabbed him like she was he grabbed her like she was his son or something, and then snatched her and walked her outside. That just looks absolutely terrible. Now, again, he didn't hit her. He didn't, but man, that's assault. You know what I mean? That's unwanted bodily contact. That's unwanted bodily contact. And you put her in fear of bodily damage. Hey man, bodily harm, dude, that right there can be considered assault. For what? But, hey man, that's Gervonta Davis. As Gervonta Davis, you say something to him, you got to say something back. Can't keep your hands to yourself. Another instance, he's sitting there playing around with Adrian Bronner, at a basketball game, or after a fight in the hallway behind I want to say behind stage, but back where they exit where the boxers come in and out of boxing matches. And he's out there playing with a phone, playing with Adrian Bronner. Somebody's taking a picture of their phone and he slaps the phone out their hand, man. That is just a knee-jerk reaction to be a jerk. Like, what's wrong with this guy, man? You can't do that. You cannot do that in society, man. You shouldn't be doing it just as a regular person at all. Putting your hands, slapping phones out of people's hands, snatching girls up, punching dudes. Shouldn't be doing any of that. But man, you have an absolutely excellent career this guy has an excellent career on his hands, and he's just making himself look like he can't handle it. Like he can handle it in the ring, he can't handle it out of the ring. The idea that this dude continues to have even, missing weight by even a little bit. It's like, man, just get your stuff together, man. Tighten your stuff up. So it's just, man, the dude is just ridiculous. However, I do want to say this now. I'm looking to see what the reaction of the media is going to be on this, because there's another boxer, Sergey Kovalev, who I do believe broke some vertebrae, just straight up cold cocked and punched a lady and broke some vertebrae in her back. He's got kicked her dog, did all kind of stuff, but he's on trial, and not a whole lot of stuff out there about that. Also, guys like Jim Lampley have been caught up in stuff like that. Like Jim Lampley got caught up in something like that. If you don't know who Jim Lampley is the former, do you call it the play-by-play guy on HBO, who had enough nerve to talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. when this guy had been convicted of the same thing with his wife. But then again, there's also Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who spent time in jail for slapping up on a woman. He claims he didn't do it, but he went to jail anyway just to get it passed. But look, man, I know people that know Floyd, and my impression was that ain't nobody surprised that he got accused of that. I don't understand guys that do it. I don't really have any pity. I don't have any sympathy or pity for people that do it, because you need to keep your hands to yourself. Same thing goes with a lot of conversations that we had about Clarissa Shields' brother having hit Saddam Ali. And people were like, oh, well, where I come from, if you run in your mouth, you need to expect to get hit. Nah, man, I don't. I think you should keep your hands to yourself. If you're in a public place and somebody doesn't put their hands on you, you shouldn't put your hands on them. Somebody just saying something to you shouldn't enrage you enough where you feel like you got to beat them up. I hate to say it, man, but that shit is that should be a childish reaction. But what we know is, especially in the black community and in other communities as well, but it's, that people take disrespect. Like if somebody says something that you don't want them to say, you feel like they disrespected you and you got to correct them. And if you don't correct them, you're not being a man and all that stuff, man. That is really and I know there's people that are members of this channel that don't agree with that. There's some people that understand what I'm saying or agree with what I'm saying, and some other people don't agree. And hey, man, we can all agree to disagree, learn to move on to different issues. But I am never going to give this one up. If that is not a proper reaction to somebody. Somebody should be able to say whatever. You should be able to hear out of somebody's mouth, whatever somebody wants to say out of their mouth. And as long as they don't, and you can respond with something out of your mouth. If you feel like somebody says something out of their mouth and you got to put your hands on them, man, you are exhibiting a lack of control. And there are literally, what are those videos you call, the videos, prank videos of guys going around to young black men, right? This is a young suburban European guy goes around to young black men and says something to him like, hey, what time is it? And the guy says, oh, it's 10:30. And the guy and then the young suburban kid says, don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me anything. And the guy looks at him like, what? He said, what did you say? Oh, I was just asking what time it is. And the guy I told you it's 10:30. Don't ever tell me what time it is. And where the guy's like, oh, you're playing with me. You're thinking I'm playing. And then they wind up beating the guy up. The whole idea was the guy has somebody with a tape there saying stuff, knowing they can egg you into overreacting. And he's willing to get punched in the face to prove it. But I know that is like an extreme example of that. But then that's what people do. And you got to have some amount of self-control. And it's not easy. It's not easy for me if somebody says something and I don't like. I get my blood boils and I start feeling that. But you just gotta not react to it. If they put their hands on you, then react full-fledged. Or if they act like they're about to put their hands on you before they actually do it, you can react. But you gotta be in some anticipation of them putting their hands on you before you do this. And that dude, Tank Davis doing it with that girl, man, that's just ridiculous. Dude, if she's talking crazy and you guys are arguing, man, just walk out. Just walk out the building, leave her standing there, let her look for a ride home or something like that. Anyway, man, it's just ridiculousness, man. And you're going to hear more about this. And it's so unnecessary for a guy that has so much talent. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.